Good morning, friends. We are back with yet another Halloween DIY. So today I'm going to be putting together a little floral wreath display for my front door. So let's just kind of go over the supplies that I'm going to use. First of all, this right here is actually, it looks like a wreath, but it is actually not. It is actually two pieces of foliage. Actually, I think I might have three. I think there's three pieces of this floral foliage that I kind of bent into a ring and then I tied it together with wire. This I actually had used on a previous DIY. I don't know if you guys remember watching the DIY for Easter that hung on the picture frames that were put up on my mantle. So I pulled this off because I wanted to reuse it. I do that with a lot of different things that I get. I also grabbed some more floral. So I grabbed some more of these Black-Eyed Susans, these really pretty purple ones from the Dollar Tree. I think I grabbed one or two of them. They didn't have very many left. These must have been popular. So I do have one. And then I also grabbed one more of these like black and purple Halloween roses from the Dollar Tree. And then I had another little bouquet of this, it's a maple bouquet, and that came from the Dollar Tree as well. And I liked the purples with that color leaf. It was kind of like a nice kind of soft, more muted oranges, which I like. Okay, so I grabbed another pick from Joann Fabrics. This is, I don't know what this is. Let's see. This is, it just says Blooming Autumn. Blooming Autumn. It almost looks like a hydrangea, like a dark purple hydrangea. It was $10, but it was 60% off, so I only paid $4 for it, and there's a lot of flower on here. So I'm going to use some of those. Then I grabbed a little pumpkin, and this is a white and black striped pumpkin. This came from Joann Fabrics as well. It was marked $7.99, but again, 60% off for that. Then I had these from last year. I believe both of these came from Hobby Lobby. They were in some of my decor from last year, so just a little orange pumpkin pit. Then Joann Fabric had these really cute little cutouts. It's a wood-shaped cutout. I grabbed 3 of the skull and crossbones. They were normally $1.50. I believe they were 50% off, so I did grab 3 of those. And then I grabbed this one that says Witch's Brew. So I'm going to paint these up and use these as decor on my little wreath. The paints that I'm going to use, I have the purple, and this one right here is actually Wild Iris, and it's like a purple color. I'm going to use a black and a white, and then I just have a little bit of gold as well, and this is the Deco Art Extreme Sheen. I haven't used it yet. It's from Hobby Lobby, but it's a champagne gold. So I'm going to use that for like an accent color. So then just I have a hot glue gun, a paintbrush, and a dish. And then I'm going to get some paper towels, and I'm actually going to get started painting my little wooden figures here first. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little whitewash on these little skull and crossbones. They're pretty light as it is, but I want them just a little bit lighter, more of a bone color. So I actually just watered down a little bit of this white acrylic paint, and it's not really, it's not like super watered down, just a little bit, just a couple of drops. You can see it's not like stark white, it's kind of just a nice bone color. And I'm just gonna kind of go over, the top. I actually did these two already. You can kind of see the difference here. Like I said, I want more of a bone color. I don't want like a stark white, but I don't want the wood color either. So I'm gonna do that, and then I will let those dry. All right, so for the Witch's Brew little wooden sign that I have here, I painted the wording gold, and then I painted the little bottle with the skull purple, and I left the skull like just the natural color of the wood. So that I'm gonna let dry, which I think is really cute. I think the colors will go nicely. Let it dry, and then I'm gonna start working on putting my arrangement together. Okay, so I went ahead and clipped off all of the floral from the long stems, and I only wanted to have these short little stems that are easy to work with. So I clipped all of the floral I put it in little piles, separated it. I did the same with these larger pieces, clipped short little stems. I also grabbed some ribbon because I'm going to use some ribbon, and all of my little skull and crossbones and little witch's brew are done and dry. So we can start putting this arrangement together. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to work with some of the larger floral first. So we're going to work with this. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to put this all around the entire wreath. I'm actually going to kind of cluster it to one side. So it's going to be like a bigger portion of floral on this side, and then we'll put, we'll scatter the little skull and crossbones around this area. So I found the spot that I want to use as my hanger. It's actually more of a blank spot right up top, and that's going to be used as the top portion of my wreath. And so now we're going to just get started gluing some of these larger pieces of floral to this arrangement. All right, so I'm just taking some hot glue, and I'm just running a little bit of hot glue right along the stem, and I'm going to kind of just stick those stems right down into my vine that I have here, and kind of just hold it in place until it sets. And then I'm going to kind of just peel back a little bit of the floral and just make sure that I have a good hold. Add a little bit more glue right down in there just so that I know it's sticking to something fairly sturdy. And I'm going to do that all along this this side right here. Like I said, I'm not going to go all the way around. I'm only going to focus on one side. Okay, so as you can see, we have the floral kind of all on one side, and I'm starting to add a little bit of ribbon to this floral. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my ribbon right here. This is the skull and crossbone ribbon. It's got the wire on the edges, which I like the wire ribbon because it kind of holds a nice shape. We're going to make these little like mini bows out of them. So what we're going to do, very much like the tutorial that I showed in the centerpiece tutorial, we're going to make a little loop. We're going to actually hold the end like this, kind of pinch it together, make a little loop, pinch it together again. Now my loop is only probably about 8 inches total, so pinch it together, make another loop about the same size, just like that. Now with this one we're only going to do 2 loops, so we're going to have 2 loops like that, and then we've got the tail. We're going to wrap that tail right around the spot that we're pinching together, wrap it right around. Okay, so now it's going to kind of hold those 2 loops, and we're going to push those 2 loops together, so now our tail is at the bottom, just like this. Okay, now I'm going to take one of my little roses, my Halloween roses with a short stem, and I'm going to stick that right with this little bow like this, and I'm going to take this wired tail and wrap it around that stem just like that, so it kind of now creates a little pick that we can glue into our arrangement. So I'm going to do this probably with all of the Halloween roses I have. I think I have 5 of them, and I'm going to do this exact same thing. I'm going to throw a little bit of hot glue right on that bottom portion of that stem, just enough so that I can stick that right down in my floral, and it will find a place to hold. And now you can see we've got these cute little pops of bows that are going to come out of this floral area. All right, so I used up all of my little roses. I also used some of this, this is from the Dollar Tree as well. It's this orange glitter wired edge ribbon, and so I used some of that and did a couple of the little bows around the spiders and stuck those in this portion of the arrangement. So now what I'm going to do is, again, keeping with my whole stripe theme, I'm going to take a small, I don't have very much of this left, I have a very small amount. So I'm going to take this last little bit of ribbon that I have, I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to make 2 of those loops, that I used in my centerpiece arrangements. And again, cutting it in half, and we're just making a little loop like this, and we're gonna glue that together. Glue it just down at the bottom. I put a little bit of glue just at the bottom just to kind of hold it together, hold that little loop. And then we're gonna glue a couple of these little loops so that these are popping out of the arrangement as well, just to put a little bit of the stripe coloring into this whole arrangement. So this is what the arrangement looks like so far. I've gone ahead and hot glued 2 of these pumpkins to this bottom right-hand corner of the arrangement. And now I'm gonna kind of take a few of my leaves and a little bit more of these purple flowers and kind of arrange it around these pumpkins and just glue those in. So I will do that next. So I've gone ahead and glued a bunch of my purple flowers and leaves in around these pumpkins right here. So now you can see we've got kind of a nice arrangement on this side, and then this is our nice big bow with those big flowers. So it's coming together. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to start gluing our little skull and crossbones. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna put one close to the top up in here, and I'm gonna kind of just glue it right down to a thicker part of the branch like that. I'll probably glue another one down closer to the bottom down here. And then I might stick another one, try to stick another one in here somewhere. I'm just trying to fill in these smaller pieces of the wreath with the skull and crossbone. Now, I went ahead and I had a coffee stirrer, which is like a little thin popsicle stick. I glued that to the back of this witch's brew because I needed something to be able to stick down into my wreath. So I'm gonna stick this down into the wreath and have it kind of just sticking out like that. I might pop a little bit of glue on that stick, but I wanted it kind of sticking out so you can read what it says. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue that in and glue all of these down, and then we'll add a little bit more ribbon. All right, lastly, I'm cutting these little small pieces of scrap ribbon that I have left over. I cut the little fork in one end, and what I'm gonna do is in the other end, I'm gonna just kind of pinch it together and twist it. And then I'm going to kind of just take my fingers and curl that little forked end down under like that. And I'm gonna just glue these. I did only like 2 or 3 of them. I don't want a ton, but I'm gonna just glue these underneath. I'm gonna find a branch and glue it kind of underneath. You can see how I did one over here. And then I did another one up here. I just want a little pop of that ribbon popping out from the rest of the wreath. All right, so here it is. I have it hanging on my front door. I ended up just taking the last little bit of ribbon and just knotting it around the branches up here to hang around the hook on my front door. But I think it came out really cute. Loving the colors. It's perfect. I love the big grouping of floral on this side, and then it's a little bit thinner through the rest of the arrangement. So all in all, I think it came out really cute. I hope you guys enjoyed this DIY, and stick around for lots more DIYs coming up for Halloween and Thanksgiving. Have a great day, guys. Take care.